What is up, guys? James here from the Light of Riga YouTube channel, and in this video I want to share a spread that I created for you because I saw a question on the Eclectic Tarot forum about a spread for writing a speech. And I have my own speech that I have to give coming up, so I decided to create a spread specifically for this task. I know this is a kind of a spread that's not going to be widely used, how often you have to write a speech, but occasionally we do have to write speeches. So I want to show you this spread, see if it works, and see if it works for you. And as always with all my spreads, feel free to take them and use them however you wish. Feel free to tweak them, whatever you want to do with them. I'm putting this out there for you so that you can use it. Today I'm going to be demonstrating with my Llewellyn Classic Trimmed Tarot deck. This is a very beautiful watercolor deck that I love so very much. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is shuffle the cards and ask the question, what should my speech be about? I have a wedding speech coming up for my sister. She's getting married and I'm expected to give a speech. So I haven't written the speech yet. I've got a couple months to worry about this. So I definitely wanted to ask the tarot before I got too involved in the writing process, just to see what the tarot has to say. And this is a 9-card spread that I will be doing here today. So let me just shuffle the question and ask, what should the energy of my speech be? Alright, here we go. Cut the deck. And this is how we're going to lay it out. Card 1. Card 2. Card 3. Card 4. Card 5. Card 6. Card 7. Card 8. And card 9. Alright, very interesting. We've got 9 cards here, and I will explain what these cards represent. I'll use my blue kyanite here. I got this. It's a pointer. Huh, I don't even have to use my fingers. I'm that lazy. Alright. So the first card in the center here is the dominant energy, idea, or theme of the speech. And I know they're not labeled. This is the Death card in Llewellyn Classic. Or, sorry, just the Llewellyn. Did I say the Classic before? This is just Llewellyn Tarot. And the dominant energy is the Death card. That's, you know, to a passerby, to a onlooker, this might look like a very bad omen, but to a tarot reader, the death isn't about death. It's not a negative thing. It's about change, and it's about drastic change. Something has to die in order for something new and fresh to come along. And I get the idea that the dominant energy, idea, or theme of my speech should be about the change that my sister is going through at this time. It should be focused on her and her metamorphosis and the things that are going on in her life now. I should probably focus on what energy she was having before and what energy she's expected to have in the future. So I'm getting the real sense, the real feeling that the predominant energy, theme, or idea of my speech for my sister is going to be about the massive change that she's undergoing and how she's going to handle this change. Now these cards here, number 3, or 2, 3, and 4, these are 3 cards represent things to keep in mind and or include in the speech. Number 2, number 3, and number 4. So we've got the 2 of Wands, we've got the 6 of Cups, and we've got the King of Swords. Now to me this is saying, first we'll look at the 2 of Wands. And to me this is telling me that I should include the new possibilities, the new doors that are going to be open, the new avenues of experience and adventure that this marriage will bring to my sister and my brother-in-law. And so I'm getting the feeling that I should keep a little bit of the focus of the speech on the future and what is to come. And you know, I'm getting the feeling that this woman here is very focused on the future and focused. She's looking into a crystal ball. You know, traditionally the crystal balls can foretell future, and the in movies and stuff like that. Of course, scrying is a whole different thing, which we will not get into. But what I'm getting at is that this woman is very focused on what is to come, and I think looking at what is to come as a result of this union will be a very good thing to include in the speech. Six of Cups, and I'm getting the feeling that this Six of Cups here is asking me to be nostalgic. Remember what it was like growing up with my sister and how we were as kids, and include some of that in the speech. You know, Six of Cups is about nostalgia. It's about reminiscing about childhood. It's about youthful energy, and I think that's something that I should really keep in mind when writing this speech is remembering the past as well as focusing on the future. But remember the past and remember the good energies that we had as kids, and bring some of that energy that we had as kids into the speech. Why not? This third card here is the Six of Swords. Six of Swords? What am I talking? I was looking at someone else. This is the King of Swords, excuse me. And I'm getting the feeling that this King of Swords is telling me that I should be very calculated in the way that I communicate through this speech. I need to choose my words wisely, and I need to choose them. You know, the King of Swords is someone who chooses his words very wisely, chooses the way he communicates very wisely and intelligently and very maturely. So that's something I should really keep in mind for this speech, is to be mature while at the same time, you know, maintaining that childlike energy. So I need to look to the future. I need to look to the past. And capture both of those energies, and then do it with a very mature, very pragmatic, very calculated way, communicating that in a very calculated way. Okay, so that's that side. That's 2, 3, and 4. 5, 6, and 7 here are things to avoid or leave out of this speech. So, okay, things that we want to avoid. And the first one here is the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles is about physical rewards from, you know, a job well done, you know, working hard and finally seeing some benefits of that financially or, you know, in physical form. And I think this is telling me that we shouldn't, you know, while we're looking at the future, we shouldn't get too wrapped up in the physical aspect of it. You know, let's keep the energy and the emotion of the future intact in this speech and focused on, but we shouldn't focus on the logistics of the future, right? Where are they going to live? Where are they going to get their money? Okay, so that's something that we can leave out of the speech altogether. The pentacle energy that is going to kind of bog the speech down a little bit, right? No one cares about the details of a union, right? They want to hear the fluffy stuff, so to speak. This here is Justice. And we need to avoid... give me a second with this card. Interesting. I think this card is telling me that I need to avoid the karmic things involved in this relationship. I need to avoid, you know, who's going to be on top in this relationship, who's going to be controlling, who's going to be dominating, who's going to be submissive. You know, the balance of this relationship is not for me to talk about in this speech, right? And, you know, I don't really know any of that anyway, so that's not for me to say. So I think I need to keep out the power struggle, or I hate to use the word struggle in a new marriage. It's not a struggle, but, you know, the power imbalances in the relationship need to be kept out, because that's not for me to say in this speech. Should not be the focus of the speech. The last card here is the Four of Wands. And I'm getting the feeling of home life. I should definitely not include or even think about, you know, where they're going to live as a couple, like what their home life is going to be. I shouldn't also, this is telling me about celebration, you know, a wedding. This is like the card for weddings, basically. And I definitely see a wedding happening here. So I think this card is telling me that I shouldn't talk about the wedding while we're at the wedding specifically. And so I'm getting the feeling that I shouldn't talk about the home. I shouldn't talk about the wedding. Those things are, again, not for me to discuss. We're going to keep this on the future and on the past is what this is telling me. And on the transformation that is occurring. So keep that out of the speech. Card number 8 here is how it should make the audience feel. And we have the Four of Cups. Aha, this is a very interesting card, because I'm getting the feeling that a lot of the time in weddings, people are very emotional, but I don't know if you don't know me personally, but I'm the type of person who's going to stray from the pack, and I'm going to be doing something differently. So while everyone's focused on these traditional feelings here, these traditional emotions that are brought up every wedding, it's going to be my job to point out an alternate viewpoint, an alternate emotion that they're not thinking about. That's why I'm going to be giving this speech, because I give alternate viewpoints. So that is something that I should keep in mind. The way I want the audience to feel about this speech is I want them to see a new angle that they haven't seen before, emotionally speaking. So that's going to be my job, is to get the audience to think in a different way emotionally after they hear this speech. And so that's going to be kind of the focus of where I want this speech to go. The last card is how I should feel when writing it. And we have the 10 of Swords. Oh my. Oh my. So what this is telling me here is that, well, it's kind of telling me several things. First of all, I'm getting the feeling that, while writing this speech, I definitely don't want to get bogged down in the ego thoughts, right? You know what I mean? Are people going to like this speech? Am I saying the right thing? Am I saying the wrong thing? Well, that's what this tarot spread is for anyway. But I'm getting the feeling that this card is telling me that I should kind of release the ego and not let the ego take control. But then again, it's also telling me that I should just really let the ego out. By that I mean, think all those ego thoughts that I just mentioned. Just really think them and sit with them for a while and then release them and let the waves wash them away. So that's the thing I'm getting from this, is that this speech is going to bring up a lot of ego thoughts. It's going to bring up a lot of fear, a lot of doubts, a lot of worry, and that's going to be natural. I mean, when you're writing a speech and you're going to give that speech to a lot of people, the tendency is to let those negative ego thoughts kind of take control, and it's going to be inevitable. It's going to be unavoidable, but again, just I need to allow those thoughts to come and then let the cool, soothing ocean wash them away, right? So that there's nothing left but the raw, genuine emotions, and I can put that into the speech. Oh, man. So this spread worked out better than I thought it would, okay? So it's a 9-card spread, and I hope that it helps you in some way. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, you guys are free to use this, tweak it, not use it, whatever you want to do. I'm giving it out there for you guys. I hope this helps the person at the Eclectic Tarot Forum that I got this question from. So yes, thank you guys for watching the video. Remember that I've got plenty of playlists that you can check out. I got a Learning the Tarot playlist. I've got a sample reading playlist. I've got a deck review playlist, and so on and so forth. I've also got an Etsy channel or an Etsy store where you can purchase readings, and remember that there's a promo code going on right now. Friends and Fam 50 gets you half off all readings in the store. And also I have a Twitter and Instagram, which you can see on the screen. All right, and in the description below. All right, guys, I want to thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Subscribe if you have not already. Happy taroting. Peace.